CEO Elon Musk has sold investors on this idea that Tesla vehicles will one day be self-driving. Now, tomorrow, those promises may finally be fulfilled when the company unveils its Robotaxi at its We Robot event in Los Angeles. Fast Money friend Gene Munster joins us now on set. Gene is actually on the way to the Robotaxi event, so you're passing through. Thanks for joining us, Gene. And you're fully expecting to get into a Robotaxi and get driven around by no one tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd put the odds at that at above 90% that we'll get a chance to do that. And it's going to be obviously in a contained environment. And so keep in mind, back in 2018 at their Autonomy Day, they took a Model 3 and put it on Highway 101 in San Francisco. And so the idea of them being able to move around and autonomously in a controlled environment is nothing new. I think what I'm focused in on is, what's the form factor like? Is this a two-person? Is it a four-person vehicle? And then the all-important question around timing of the vehicle, because for them to talk about something is very different than the substance of actually seeing these products in the market.
Because he's talked about it a lot. He's promised it a lot.
21 times, in fact.
21 times. And the average promise in terms of time frame is 2 years.
2 years.
From that moment that he talked about.
From that moment. Yep,
and that moment
correct.
still has not come. And so tomorrow, do you think it's going to be 2 years again, which would be, that means nothing to me.
I think that he's going to say something that's a little bit longer than under 2 years. I think he'll say that by the end of 25, that they're going to be rolling out some of these robotaxis in some select cities. Now, that's an approach that Tesla historically hasn't taken. They've kind of had this idea of getting the cars in the market. But I think that they could take a similar approach to like Waymo. And also, I think another piece to the conversation around the timing. So again, late 2025, I think that they'll have some form of robotaxi service. Another aspect to this is I think they may actually talk about a couple other vehicles, a more affordable Tesla. And I'm an outlier on this next one, but I think a van, a passenger van for autonomy, 6-10 people kind of a vehicle.
So, Gene, first of all, it's great to have you in the house.
Fun to be here.
A long time.
Yeah.
So what is the business model of the Robotaxi? How much do you think it's worth? How's it going to work?
So if you think about the total profit of Tesla, I think that ultimately 20% of this could come from the ride-hailing network. There's a lot of factors that play into that. I think that's just in the U.S. if they can get around 50% share. So, of course, Uber dominates that today. But I think if you look at if they eventually have this as a service where they charge 20% less than a typical Uber ride because you get rid of the driver, and they take a 15% cut, I think it can add, it's basically pure margin. So I think that this can be a material lever is 20% addition. I don't think this is going to like triple Tesla's business, for example, but I think it's going to be a material piece to it.
Gene, how do you handicap the stock? It's probably 40% off its all-time high. It's probably rallied, I don't know, over 100% from the lows in the spring. So it's volatile stock. 260 has been resistance now, December, July, and then recently. Is it ever going to get to a level where it starts doing what it's supposed to do, lower left, upper right, like a lot of these other stocks have done?
So for this week, I actually expect the stock to probably be down after the event because I mentioned that the all-important timing question. I don't think investors are going to leave with a ton of substance or a ton of excitement around that. But I think if you look at the trajectory of where they're going, ultimately I think that growth rates can go from, call it 7% in the most recent September quarter. I think they can get back into the 20-25% growth rate. And if you put a multiple on this, I think this is a hardware software services similar to Apple. That trades at just over 8 times. You can build a case for the next couple of years for this to be a 40% stock to be 40% higher. So I think it will continue to make new highs as deliveries start to accelerate.
How do you factor in the two new vehicles that you are expecting and the impact on margins? Because that could be a real setback for investors in terms of how they're comparing margins to OEMs. Because they've said that as being sort of a marker. We're not going to get there.
So the key word is affordability. That's a word that Elon used on the last call when he's talking about this next model. And it's a little bit ambiguous, but it has a big impact on margins. So if the affordable vehicle that they're talking about is actually taking a stripped-down Model 3, which they're doing in Mexico, that probably is actually going to be okay with margins because they got a lot of the manufacturing infrastructure in place. If it's building a whole new factory for a entirely new, more affordable Model 2, then it probably continues to pressure margins. I think the margin anxiety for investors is, I think that's kind of basing right now. I think the focus is more shifting to delivery growth over the next few quarters.